This character only exists because of Norman Rockwell. Look at this painting. At first glance, it looks like a charming moment at a diner, but look at the tension. The officer is leaning in with a quiet force, waiting for the kid to make the right choice. The boy, that's the face of a kid who knows he's been caught. The glue is the counterman. His smirk tells us there's no real danger here. He sets the tone for how we're supposed to feel. Rockwell could tell an entire story in a single image, but the real magic isn't just in the painting, it's in how he made it. Rockwell was really a film director who painted his movies in a single frame. He cast real people, built sets, and took hundreds of photos just to find the right look. He wasn't just capturing a pose, he was hunting for an emotion. Seeing this as a kid changed everything for me. I realized none of it was an accident. Every choice was intentional and connected to a story. I'm building a fantasy trilogy called Road to Nocturna. Every great story begins with a protagonist who doesn't just face a conflict, but a struggle within that they must overcome. Designing the characters for Road to Nocturna is about applying that same philosophy. I want you to know exactly who they are before they even speak. Max is a 14-year-old orphan. His entire posture is a performance. He looks relaxed, casual. One hand in his pocket, the other on his watch. But that's the trick. Looking comfortable is the best way to hide in plain sight. He's always watching. He just doesn't want you to know it. He dresses in grays and blacks to disappear. After 14 years in the same orphanage, watching everyone else get adopted while he stayed behind, Max stopped trying to be loved. He started trying to be invisible. The only thing he truly owns is that broken pocket watch. When the world feels like it's spinning out of control, he looks down at those unmoving hands. It's his pause button on reality, his only anchor. But something happened at his last school, the incident. He doesn't fully understand it, but he knows he caused it. It scared his caretaker so much that she pulled him out mid-semester for a fresh start at a school clear across town. This is his last chance. One more accident and the life he's faking is all over. That's Max, hand-drawn in Procreate. But there's one more step. Into the Spider-Verse showed us how you could blend hand-drawn 2D images on top of 3D animation to get that organic texture on top of clean shapes. I want to try something similar, but all in 2D. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the hand-drawn layer from Procreate and blend it together with digital layers that I was able to perfect and shade in Photoshop with more precision. Combining both of these give the image more depth than either layer can do alone. That's the character, but now I want to put him in the real world. When I was a kid, I was a big fan of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, cartoons living in the real world. I'd never seen anything like it when it was released in 1988. Between Zemeckis, Spielberg, and Lucas, they really defined my childhood in the 80s and the 90s. These are the movies that made me want to move to LA as soon as I could in the early 2000s. When I first got here, I worked 2 jobs, saved up every dollar I could, and collaborated with the UCLA Film Group to shoot on their campus. These are some of the original live-action plates I directed. Cinematography by Eric Leach, character designs by Yasmin Joyner. The story was about a nameless patient who lost his memory in an experimental lab. He discovers his fate, tries to escape, only to repeat it again and again. But we never got past the animation phase. Due to the high cost to pull something off like this at that time, 2 years of work and I ran out of money, went into massive debt and hit a wall. I thought this footage would never see the light of day, but I digitized the footage just for this video. And even though I never completed that project, I never stopped chasing that style. Years later, Joe Penna, Mystery Guitar Man, gave me a shot on his YouTube channel. I tag teamed with an artist named Lauren, Transient Art on YouTube. She drew by day and I composited by night, 7 days straight to hit a massive deadline. It worked, but it was so tough to pull that off in 1 week. And now the technology has finally caught up to our imagination. I've been chasing this style for so many years, and now I finally have a story worthy of it, and the technology is better than it's ever been. Now, let's put Max in his world. This is the Roger Rabbit approach, a hand-drawn character in a real environment. But let's try an experiment. Let's take that hallway and put a toon shader on it. Same hallway, but stylized. Now let's take that hallway and we'll put a comic shader on top, so it has that halftone look. Same shot, different feel. Now let's blend them all together. And you get something that doesn't look like any single technique. This is his world, for now. Let's look closer. The full body shows how Max moves, but the portrait, this is where we'll see what Max is hiding. When I design a face, I'm looking for the tension between the expression and the truth. As I ink these outlines, you can start to see his expression take shape. Look at that half smile. That's not happiness, it's a performance. It's Max showing you exactly what he wants you to see. The eyes are the tell. He's not looking away, he's studying you. That raised eyebrow, he's already figured out what you're gonna say next. It works on almost everyone. For Max, manipulation isn't a choice, it's his armor. He controls the conversation, the outcome, and the room, because if he loses control, something bad might happen. And the last time, it did, and it came from him. But underneath, he's not a villain. He's just a kid who wants answers. Why was I left? Why am I different? Why does everyone treat me like I'm dangerous? He's convinced himself he doesn't deserve the answers, but he's never stopped looking for them. This belief that vulnerability is weakness has kept him safe so far, but now it's starting to cost him. Max's journey is about learning what real strength actually looks like, and it's gonna hurt. That's Max, the face he shows to the world, and the secrets he's keeping from it. But there's one last step. Time to put Max in the glass box. That's Max, the schemer, the survivor, the kid who won't let anyone in. But in the next video, you're gonna meet the one person who's going to change everything for him. Her name is Aylin, and she's going to change everything Max thinks he knows. And if you want the full story behind this project and why I'm doing it this way, check out my last video. Links right